Welcome to the More Demand podcast, where we help you generate more demand for your products and services. Every episode we give you tips, tricks and tutorials on how to get the best out of your digital marketing. Less frustration, more demand. Here's your host Lawrence Howlett with this week's freshest tips.
Hello and welcome to the More Demand podcast, episode number 23. Today we're going to talk about LinkedIn profiles. I bet you have a LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to guess as well that you just log in and scroll through the newsfeed. Are you actively creating and bringing in leads from LinkedIn? If you're not, this is the episode for you, because I want you to stop wasting your time scrolling through the newsfeed on LinkedIn and start to build highly profitable leads from LinkedIn. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you to do today, and how I generate up to around 10 high quality leads per week from LinkedIn by owning my niche, growing my connections, and being seen as an authority on the channel. In fact, I've been using LinkedIn to successfully generate high quality leads for a little over 6 months now. It's a new channel that's really working well for us, and it's growing day by day as well. The great news is it's super simple to implement, and it works because there are not that many people using it right now in terms of this system. So it's a chance to jump on board, get in there early and start using this system to generate high quality leads through LinkedIn. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through today, step by step. But before we start the show, I just want to get your feedback now that we're at episode number 23 on how we're doing on the More Demand podcast. So I want to speak to you guys, the listeners. I want to interact with you guys and engage and learn a little bit more about you, what challenges you're facing right now, what guests would you like to listen to on the show, and what topics would you like us to discuss on the show with those guests. You can shoot me an email, lawrence@moredemand.co.uk. That's Lawrence with a W, LAWRENCE @moredemand.co.uk. Shoot me an email. Give me your feedback in terms of, how are we doing? What guests do you want to listen to? What challenges are you facing right now as a business, and how we can help you with online marketing and bring in those high quality value leads. So we're going to dive straight in now to the LinkedIn program, the LinkedIn system that I use to generate high quality leads. So let's get straight in there at step 1, which is, who do you want to target? As with any marketing campaign, I bang on about this all the time. We need to know who we want to speak to and how we can help them. So I've already created a buyer persona in a previous More Demand podcast, so moredemand.co.uk/episode 10. That's a template for your buyer persona, your perfect customer, that covers their background, their demographics, identifies their goals, challenges, how you can help them, some buyer quotes that you might hear them say, some barriers or concerns about buying your solution, and then how you're going to pitch to them and the marketing tone for that pitch. So if you want to go ahead and grab a buyer persona template, moredemand.co.uk/episode 10, you'll be able to grab that buyer persona. But the whole point in this LinkedIn strategy is to understand who we want to speak to and how we can help them. So we need to look inside our business and see who we want to speak to, who are our ideal customers, and what solutions that we provide align to their challenges. So that's step number 1. Simply take a few minutes, probably a few hours actually, to think about who you want to target and really nail in the detail of how you're going to help them. That's really important for this LinkedIn campaign. So that's step 1, that buyer persona template. Go ahead and create your perfect customer avatar, buyer persona template, whatever you want to call it. But ideally, it's your perfect customer. Step number 2 is all about your profile optimization on LinkedIn. So hands up, who has got a really crap photo on LinkedIn? Please just go and get a professional photo done, upload it to your LinkedIn. It's done. Even if you don't like being in front of camera, just smile to it once, get the photo done, put it in black and white, add a bit of creativity to it. Just get a professional photo and get it on your profile. Absolutely vital to this process. And your name should just be your name. Most groups won't let you in if you try and put in your surname, Lawrence Howlett, B2B marketing expert. They won't allow you in with a surname of B2B marketing expert because it's not your surname. So your name should just be your name. Remove the, any keywords or things that you're trying to target in there. You then want to add a short description in your profile. And I've got a really simple formula for this. It's your position, what you do for your target buyer. So for example, owner or founder or CEO, and then we create websites for and whoever the target buyer is. So we create lead generating websites for B2B service-based companies. That's your short description formula. So just your position, what you do, and for who do you do it. Then you're onto the summary section. Now, the biggest mistake here is it's not about you. Even though the summary field thinks that it's going to be about you and what you've done, nobody cares, unfortunately. Apart from maybe your mum or dad, they might do. But right now, the summary field is all about your prospects' potential challenges and how you can help them. So start it off with a challenge question. For example, looking to purchase your first commercial building. Then tell them exactly how you can help them. So if you're looking to purchase your first commercial building, we can give you valuations and legal advice, for example. Then you want to tell them what to do next. So for example, with our purchase your first commercial building, we can help you with this legal advice and give you a free initial assessment. And you can grab that from mydomain.com/LinkedIn. And that makes it a really specific offer to the LinkedIn community. So that when they click through on LinkedIn, number one, you can track that in Google Analytics. So you know that it's the only URL is on your LinkedIn profile. So you can track exactly how many people are clicking through from your profile to your website. But number two, it also tells the LinkedIn community that, this is a special offer only available for LinkedIn customers that click this link, and make sure that that promise is true as well. Finally, you want to add your specialities as a comma-separated list because LinkedIn does look at those keywords for when it's searching for people in the people search part of LinkedIn. So the summary, to summarize the summary, it's not all about you, it's about your potential prospects. So make that change in your summary to talk to your prospects, not to talk about you. Then you're down into the experience section, and this is about adding your current role, be it director, marketing manager, and then add your company details. Remember, this is again not about your company. This is about how your company can help solve your customers' challenges and what solutions you provide and what are the benefits of those solutions. So make sure that you're writing these summaries with that in mind, not with you in mind. And then you want to follow the same formula above of what you can do to help them, how they can get that help, and exactly what to do next, i.e. go to mydomain.com/LinkedIn to claim your free initial assessment. Then we're down into the skills and endorsements section, and you want to ensure that you add all of your relevant skills. So for example, in my profile, I've got web design, I've got digital marketing, I've got search engine optimization, pay-per-click, email marketing, and people can then endorse you for those skills. So that's really important to make sure that you list out your most prominent skills in terms of what people are searching for as well. So if you're in aviation and you're a pilot, make sure that your number one skill is how to fly a plane. That's got to be the top skill that people are endorsing you for. So I want you to lead by example as the company founder or the marketing director or the person that looks after marketing. I want you to create the most optimized profile that solves your potential prospects' challenges. And then I want you to go ahead and get everyone in your team to do exactly the same so that you've got multiple bites at the cherry of all of your team members then becoming, this LinkedIn profile that talks exactly to the people that you're trying to target. Step number 3 is all about getting recommended. So what you need to do here is ask your best clients to recommend you on LinkedIn. So think of this as the proof. This is the proof that what you say you do, people actually recommend because they've been through that service and they've come out of the other side and they're absolutely delighted with the service. So to do that in LinkedIn, to get recommended by your best clients, you can simply go to your profile, hover over the recommendation section, and there'll be a button pop up saying ask to be recommended. Now, what I recommend you do is get at least 5 recommendations from your best clients. Ask them to write a short testimonial. It only takes a couple of seconds, and then offer them something for free. Take them out for a beer or a coffee or whatever it is. Get a little bit of closer to your clients as well through them recommending you. It's all about those personal connections, and remember, people buy from people. So have real connections. Don't just fire off a recommendation and say, oh, recommend me because you did a great service. No, give them something of value to make sure they give you the best recommendation possible. On to step number 4 then, and that's about joining groups that your prospects are in. So what the number one mistake is here, when you join groups, you join your industry groups rather than groups where your prospects are in. So I bet you're in industry groups that are full of your competitors and peers. It's the number one mistake. And I was absolutely part of that group as well. I was in web design groups. I was in digital marketing groups. That is not where my prospects are. My prospects are in their own industry groups. So, for example, if you're targeting lawyers or construction companies, then you need to go to those groups that have those people in so that you can connect with the people that are going to buy your services, not your competitors. Now, yes, you might want to be in a couple of groups to keep up on industry news. That's fine. But for lead generation and prospecting, you need to be in the groups where your prospects are. And, for example, what you can do then, once you're inside these groups, you can then start adding really high quality content so that members actually see you as an authority and, start to see you that they're in your top of your mind, and all of the time you're posting that high quality content to these groups that have your prospects in, that are helping them solve their everyday challenges. So, for example, with lawyers, they might have some time management issues, and if that's one of your solutions, you're a consultant on time management, then start posting time management case studies and time management how-to articles into those groups. And you want to be posting other people's content, not your own, so that you're not coming across as just a hard seller. You want to come across as a really, really helpful contact to have in that group and add unbelievable value. That's part of the deal, unfortunately, and you're going to have to put that time in to aggregate that high quality content. But I'm going to teach you how to do that just in a little bit. So on to step 5 now that we've joined all of our groups that our prospects are in. It's all about creating our own group and adding content to our own group because we want to bring our prospects into our group so that we've got them nice and close to us and we can directly market to them and connect with them then. So you want to create a group specifically to help your target prospects' challenges. So, for example, say that we provide ISO 9001 certification, then we might be targeting the aviation and automobiles market. So we could create a group called ISO 9001 Mastermind Group for CEOs of aviation and automobiles. Or if we provide health and safety training, we could create a group that is HR Managers Roundtable for health and safety in construction. Now, what's important about these titles is they are unbelievably specific even. So you define a job role. So you are the CEO of aviation and automobiles companies, or you're the HR manager of health and safety. You've also there defined the industry. So you've defined the job role and you've defined the industry. So you're going to get to these exact people that are buying your services. So you've defined their job role, defined their industry, and then you're defining the issue that they've got that aligns with a challenge. So you've got, for example, the ISO 9001 Mastermind Group. That is a specific issue that, people in aviation need to get to ISO 9001 certification. And I'm the CEO of it. So this group is exactly what I need. So it's about creating your own group that has a defined job role, a defined industry, and a defined issue. And then you're going to go ahead and invite people into that group in just a little bit as well. But before we go ahead and invite tons of people into this group, you need to spend a lot of time adding remarkable content that's going to be incredibly helpful to new members of the group. Do not invite them before there's plenty of content in there, because they'll just come to an empty room, which is useless. So we need to have that quality content inside our own group before we open the doors to group members. So now we've created our own group, we're a member of some other groups, we've already got ourselves recommended, and our profile is optimized. We're now ready to head on to step number 6, which is all about creating a schedule to contribute to the groups you have joined and created. Because we want to be top of mind in these groups, we want to regularly contribute high quality content to the groups that we've just joined. Now you can use Feedly to aggregate content from various sources. So I think it's feedly.com, feedly.com. And what that does is it's a news aggregator. So it feeds off RSS, really simple syndication feeds. So for example, you could go to the BBC News feed, or you could go to entrepreneur.com, or you could go to the Huffington Post or the Washington Post, or whatever your favorite industry site is for getting high quality content. Now remember, you want to get high quality content that your prospects are going to be interested in. So for example, if you own a web agency, your prospects are not going to be interested at all in how to code a new security widget in WordPress. They don't care. They really don't. But what they will care about is how to generate leads from their WordPress website. So if you can find articles around that are solving their challenges, that's the content that we want to get, that literally solves their challenges, and you're pumping it into these groups and you're becoming an authority, and they're going, wow, Lawrence, you're sharing all this great content, you're an authority on this subject, I'm going to trust you, and then you can invite them into your own group, because there's lots more content there about a really specific issue or challenge. So you're starting to build up this network of people that know you for a specific reason. So you solve these sort of challenges. So what you need to do is use 2 applications to do this. It's quite simple. Feedly to aggregate all the content from your favorite sources. And then I use Hootsuite to schedule posts to all of those groups, because what you can do is connect with your LinkedIn account, and you can then synchronize all of the groups that you're a member of and post out to each one of those groups anything that you want. So for example, you could post a YouTube video, you could post a slide share, you could post an image or a quote or a link to a blog post. So within Hootsuite, it allows you to schedule these posts in the future. So what I do once every 2 weeks, I block out 2 hours to go into Feedly, grab all the links that I want to share, then go over to Hootsuite and schedule for the next 2 weeks all of the posts to the relevant groups. It only takes about a couple of hours, but it keeps me in the top of the mind every single day. Now I post to the group probably once every other day, for example, for groups that I'm a member of, and I post every single day to the group that I've created. So I hope you got all of that. If you didn't, don't worry. We have created a cheat sheet for you to follow this checklist that you can grab from moredemand.co.uk/episode 23. That's episode and the number 23 as well. So on to step number 7 is finally inviting our connections to our group. So we've optimized our profile. We understand who we want inside our group as well. We've joined some groups where our prospects are, and now it's time to connect with people and invite those connections into the group. So what I want you to do is, first of all, invite your relevant connections that you've already got into the group. Now, it's really simple to do in LinkedIn. You can head over to your profile, and there's a little gear icon in the top right-hand side. You click that, that's going to take you to the advanced settings section where you can export your LinkedIn contacts. Now, not a lot of people know that you can actually export all of your LinkedIn contacts and their name, email address, telephone number, address, who their PA is. All of these details are inside that CSV, inside of that Excel spreadsheet. So much valuable data in there, it's unbelievable. But for now, we're interested in their email address. So we're going to go advanced settings, export that LinkedIn connection. And don't worry if you're trying to scribble this down, if you're in the car or on the train, the cheat sheet's got it all in with step-by-step guides for you. You're then going to select all of those email addresses from the CSV that's downloaded, and then you can go back into the management of your group by going to interests, groups, and then my groups. There's a little button in there to manage your group, and on the left hand side is send invitations. You simply paste that list of email addresses into the send invitation box, and that sends out all of the invites to your group. It's as simple as that. So now you've invited all of your relevant connections, not your competitors. So you're going to have to screen the email addresses in that CSV file and then invite them into your LinkedIn group. So now we have a LinkedIn group full of our existing customers that are going to, get enjoyment and get value from being inside this group. We're going to share industry knowledge, and everyone's going to get value and contribute to this group. And now we can also then start bringing in our new prospects from the groups that we joined ourselves. So within those groups, you can see a list of all of the members. So what I want you to do now is create a prospecting list using LinkedIn. So to do that, this is step number 8, I should say, create a prospecting list using LinkedIn search. So you can go ahead and start to search people in LinkedIn. In the top of the LinkedIn website is a search bar, and you can search for people and filter them by certain job roles. So for example, you can filter by CEO or marketing director or HR director or training director or training manager, whatever you need to do that is your target prospect. You can start searching for them in the LinkedIn search. You can also then filter by connection type. So you've got connection 1, which is you're already connected. So we don't want those guys because we're already connected to them. You've got second degree connection and third degree connection. And then you've also got a filter by group connection. So they're in the same group as you. Now that's important because we've been contributing to all of these groups. So if we filter by group connection, we can reach out to the people that are inside the groups that we've joined. Now, that's going to allow you to connect with people that already know you because you've been contributing great quality content. So we're going to filter by our group connections, and then there's simply a button next to it saying connect. And that connect button opens up a new window with the connection request in there. Now, it's got on that connection request, how do you know this person? Just click the friend radio button. That's all you need to do, because that allows you to send the connection request through. It doesn't tell the other person that they think you're a friend, but it allows you to get past that gatekeep action that LinkedIn says, oh, you need to know their email address. You don't, you just click friend and you're straight through. So within that, what I want you to do, instead of just the default message of, hey, I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network, what I want you to do is just pitch yourself as an expert of your group. So you'll say, hi, Lawrence, I'd love to connect with you. I notice we're members of the B2B marketers group, and I'd love to connect with you and find out more about your business and about your challenges, for example. So that's a personal message. You're going to put their name in there as well. So it just stands out from the I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network. There's no reason for them to click yes in there unless they're a little bit inquisitive. So by identifying that you've got a group in common, that gives them a reason to connect. Also, you've preempted that you want to try and help them as well. I've got this great piece of content, for example. You could introduce that. So you could say, hi, Lawrence, we're part of the UK B2B marketing group. I noticed on your profile that you do this, this, and this. I've got this amazing piece of content that I'd love to share with you after we've connected. Let me know if that suits you. again, that makes them connect with you to get access to that bit of prospect and to that lead magnet or that checklist or that guide that you've created. And then from there, you can have a conversation with them about your solution, your service, and take that onto the next level. So just to go back over that, step number 8, it's about creating a prospecting list in LinkedIn search. So you go into search using the people search, filter by job title, by industry, and by group connection. And then you're going to reach out by connecting to each one of these people and do a personal introduction to say either I've got this bit of content that I want to share with you, but I need you to connect first, or just a warmer introduction and say, hi Lawrence, I noticed we're the same group, I'd love to connect. And that's how you connect with all of these prospects, and you can do it unlimited, absolutely unlimited on LinkedIn. The only thing you'll get is a capture pop-up after you've done about 100 requests in a day. But 100 requests a day, you think of the leads that will bring in. If you're doing 100 every day for 5 days, it only takes, say, 30 minutes every morning. You could connect with over 500 people per working week. And then, based on a conversion rate, you're probably going to get out of those 500, maybe 50 to 100 new connections. So that is a valuable piece of prospecting that you can do in LinkedIn. So once you've connected with your prospects, you're then going to send them you're going to go and send a message follow-ups within the LinkedIn messaging tool. Now, these follow-ups in step number 9 really depend on your specific solution offering. So what I like to do is message number 1 is just a warm introduction message. This is what I do. This is some places where you can go and find out some great value content. For example, your signature piece of content might be how to generate leads on LinkedIn, for example. This is a piece of content that I would then market to people that I want to bring on from a retainer marketing point of view. So I could send them this podcast indeed and say, we've just launched this podcast. I think it'd be really good for your business. We're helping lots of B2B service-based companies generate high quality leads. Go and check it out. Now, what you've done there is build some authority and build some trust without asking for anything from your new contact. So that has already set the scene as, wow, Lawrence is really going to help us out here. Then from there, what you do is just, if they haven't responded, then follow up with them. Say, how are you getting on with the LinkedIn prospecting? Did you have a listen to it? Did you have any questions? So it's more of a question and a prompt as a follow up. Now, if they've come back to you, obviously you can take the conversation whichever way you want. You can either go down let's set an initial appointment. Let's have a chat about how this, might be able to help your business. Or you could link them out to a particular product page, for example. So you're going to have to experiment with this sort of funnel stage because it's specific to your solution and specific to your offering and how the buying cycle is in your industry. But the essential is that once you've connected to a prospect, you're then going to follow up with them in a series of emails, a series of LinkedIn messages, asking them to interact with a particular piece of content that you've got, and then on to booking that initial appointment because they've known you from the group that you're involved in. They've then identified you as an authority in your niche because you've invited them into your group. You've shared an extra piece of content with them that's unbelievable in terms of its value and how it's going to help them. And then from there, you then schedule that first appointment to take the conversation that little bit further. So they are the 9 steps to creating a LinkedIn lead generation funnel. There are recurring weekly actions. So your recurring weekly actions are going to be to contribute the highest quality content to those groups that you're a member of and the group that you've created. And it's a really good idea to share your content that you create yourself within your own group. What you want to do in the other groups, because of time allowance, and it's just easier to add high quality aggregated content in there. Then secondly, every single week you're going to connect with prospects to build up your database of LinkedIn connections. So each and every week I want you to be there connecting to new LinkedIn prospects via the search or via who's active in the groups that you're a member of. Then every week, the third action is going to be to schedule those messages to your new connection. So every single new connection that comes in, I want you to be sending out an introducer and then following up with a relevant piece of content, and then following that up with an appointment request. And then step number 4 is to book those appointment requests that your prospects have asked for within LinkedIn, so that you send them to a form so that they can then book that initial initial appointment, or they can book their free audit, or they can take whatever action it is to move them into your sales funnel and down the stages through into a paying client from a prospect. So I hope that made a bit of sense in terms of the weekly recurring tasks. So you need to contribute content, connect with prospects, schedule those messages to new prospects, and then book the appointments with prospects. So just to go back over the 9 stages of the LinkedIn lead funnel, lead generation funnel. So step number 1 is who we want to target, understanding who the target market is and how we want to help them solve their challenges. Step number 2 is all about optimizing your profile, good photo, get your name right. Short description is not about you, it's about the customer and their potential challenges and how you can help solve them. Number 3 is all about getting recommended by your existing connections and how you can get recommended. Step number 4 is join groups that your prospects are in. So join the groups that your prospects are in, not industry groups full of your competitors. Step number 5 is to create your own group and add unbelievable content. Step number 6 is to create a schedule to contribute to those groups that you have joined and created. And remember, the content helps the prospects' challenges, not is industry news within your industry. It needs to contribute to the solving of challenges for your prospects. Step number 7 is to invite your connections into the group that you've created. So import your connections into that group to start getting it active. Step number 8 is to create a prospecting list using the LinkedIn search engine, so that you can save those prospects and start connecting with them and then inviting them into your group as well. And then step number 9 is all about scheduling those messages, introduction messages, content messages, and then the appointment request messages. So that's the 9 steps. Remember, all of this is in the cheat sheet, which is available at moredemand.co.uk/episode number 23. That's episode and the number 23. It's going to make a ton more sense once you've got that checklist, and you can re-listen to this podcast and go through the checklist step by step to create your very own LinkedIn lead generation funnel. So deep breath. Oh, that was a big podcast, and it is going to work really, really well for you. We've been nailing this in all sorts of business-to-business, service-based companies that want to generate those high-quality leads, because it's really, really targeted marketing. So go ahead and grab that cheat sheet, moredemand.co.uk/episode 23. That's episode and the number 23. And all I've got left to say today is thank you so much for listening. If you've got the time, I'd really appreciate an honest review on iTunes. And I want to know what you're doing with this LinkedIn funnel. So head over to moredemand.co.uk/episode 23. Get yourself in the comment section there and let me know what's happening with your LinkedIn lead generation funnel. Until next time, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Thanks for listening to the More Demand podcast. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on iTunes and get the latest episode direct to your device every Wednesday.